Hey, everybody. Welcome to Athena After Dark. I hope you all had a great week. We have so much cool stuff going on. So let's kickstart this baby and get it rolling. The countdown is real. Daytona is upon us, and there are so many great events that we'll be attending. So, Sons of Speed, March 4th at the New Smyrna Speedway. That's going to be a fantastic event. Get an opportunity, get your tickets, and go ahead and see you there, right? It's going to be awesome. We have great vintage racers. They have no front brake. It's exciting. And then on Monday at Destination Daytona in the morning, I believe it starts at 7:30 or 8, is the Flying Piston Breakfast. It's the builder breakfast. So you buy your ticket and you come out and hang out with any and all of the builders that you really like and that you follow. I'll be there. So come out and see us for sure. Then on Wednesday, that is March 8th, we have the morning ride with Harley Davidson and Biker Bells. They've teamed up and they're bringing us a great ride and a great event for the women. And if their men want to join, they're more than welcome to. And then, of course, on Thursday, March 9th, the reason to be in Daytona is Chopper Time with Roadside Marty and Willie at Willie's Tropical Tattoo in Ormond Beach. It is, if you've never been, it's an experience that you must have. You will never, ever be the same, I promise. It's just, there's so much good stuff going on. Roadside, he's the MC. It's nonstop fun. They have the greatest choppers in the world. You will see there. Hand-built, handmade, rusty, new, fresh paint, you name it, you get it there. King and queen seats, bobbers, choppers, whatever you want to call them. It's an awesome show. And if you have a build or something that you're riding and you want to come out and sign up for the bike show, please do. It is a great event, without a doubt. And then on Friday is the Garage Build Dennis Kirk Bike Show, and that is with Cycle Source and the Broken Spoke. So if you get an opportunity for that one, that's going to be a good event also. And then in Daytona, I'm excited because Miss Gloria Tremonton Struck and her daughter, Lori Struck da Silva, they'll be in Daytona. Gloria with her granddaughter and her daughter, and they will be selling her books. So if you want to know where they're going to be, I know they'll be probably at the women's ride. You can hit me up through the email, and we'll go ahead and let you know where they're at. You have to have that book. If you haven't read it, it's kind of like my go-to when I need a little pick-me-up and I need to know that I'm not the only one in the world. I read the stories that this woman wrote in the book. She is my motor-maid sister, but she's like my mama. She's an incredible human being. Everybody that knows her loves her. She is phenomenal, and one day we're going to have her on the show, that's for sure. But the book is incredible, and it starts out in when times were so different, and if you start there and you read through it, you're just like, wow, you think you have it hard, but it's nothing compared to the stuff that she's gone through in life, and it gives you inspiration to just keep going and keep trucking along and do what you do and ride your motorcycle and have a good old time, that's for sure. Okay, also, if you're not yet registered for the Win Sons of Speed contest, go and sign up at the web address on the screen. Billy and the Sons of Speed friends have some really great prizes to win, and if you sign up, you'll get your goodies. It includes a Northern Tool $500 gift card, Competition Distributors $200 gift card. This is a good one. Law Tigers campsite with amenities at Cackleberry. Cackleberry. I'm going to do some research on that. That sounds like fun. What is a Cackleberry, actually?
A hen's egg.
A what?
Hen's egg.
Oh, Don's pretty. He's a plethora of information. It is a hen's egg. I'm not even going to touch that one tonight. I'm just in a silly mood, and that could get us all in trouble. Also, Z-Max product kit includes oil, degreaser, and wax. Jody Perowitz is hand painting a Sons of Speed Yeti cup. That's cool. Cycle Source is given a 1-year subscription and a swag bag. Swamp Yankee has a Sons of Speed poster signed by Billy that they've kicked in. And then Kirsch, Made in the USA helmet is Sons of Speed helmet signed by Billy. That's going to be cool. And then the Buffalo Chip is giving a signed Buck Cherry guitar. And then Alex Ripa is also donated a Sons of Speed framed photo. So again, go to winsonsofspeed.com, sign up, and get your goodies. It's definitely worth entering. About $3,000, $4,000 worth of prizes, so that's awesome. All right, so tonight we're going to start out with our 5 good things from our fans. Excuse me. It's a little hot and sweaty here, so if I got this thing on my chin. I got in a fight with a lawn chair. That was pretty interesting. Long story. If I see you in Daytona, ask me and I'll tell you all about it. I still haven't explained it to Don, but it was funny. It was blondely funny. Okay, William from Sebastian, Florida. One of his 5 good things is my mother, who is alive and kicking at 98. God bless her soul. Telling you what, it's just awesome. I saw a lady that was driving at 105. She had just renewed her driver's license, so I'm not going to touch that one either, but got to keep going as long as they're moving. And as long as you cherish her, because parents are important for sure. Family's important. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Jared. Jared's already got his VIP tickets for the Sons of Speed. That is awesome. All right. Sandra from Mobile, Alabama. This was a good one. One of her 5 good things was my divorce from a rat bastard cheating man. I'm just going to say, good for you. There's lots of good guys out there, so stay on the hunt. Ride your motorcycle a lot first. Get your brain straight. It'll be good. Matilda from Lexington, Kentucky. One of her great 5 good things is her cammed up sporty named Blue Bayou, BLEW Bayou. Means it's fast. It's fast. That's good. We like fast. Okay, and then Smitty from Fort Worth. One of his 5 good things, and I like this one, is meeting Rick Fairless and buying one of his bikes. We love Rick Fairless. He is one of our family and friends around here. He's a hoot too. We love his place. It is definitely a 3-ring circus worth visiting anytime you get. It is absolutely fantastic. All right, and then Fallon from Park City, Utah. My new toy hauler. See you at the HD Biker Bells morning ride. All right. Well, Fallon, I look forward to seeing you and meeting you. Make sure you come over and say hello. That's exciting. And then we are going to move on to our next segment. And I wanted to say hello and shout out to our new sponsor, Techno Research with the Centurion program. Thank you for participating and helping us make this show a little bit better as we go. It's absolutely a great program. We use it here in our shop. And if you want something done on your motorcycle, a diagnostic, or you need flash for your stereo, you need to put in any kind of different things, modules and stuff, find someone that has the Techno Research Centurion program and you will definitely be happy. All right. So the question for this episode in our Ask Athena segment is from Mickey, Fort Myers, Florida. She says, I've been watching your show, and even though I'm not a rider yet, I wanted to ask you, what is the best bike to buy, new or used? I'm 43 years old and 5'2", so I am vertically challenged and not quite sure if I can handle a Harley. All right, Mickey, this is a great question. I get this question a lot. Personally, I think that if you take the rider course and you get through it, the best thing that you can do before you make a purchase is to go ahead and go to a local rental shop, Eagle Rider Rental, whoever is in your area, and take the weekends and get the insurance and try a couple different models. A lot of times people say, oh, a Sportster. Sportster's the most top-heavy motorcycle that there is if you're buying a used bike. The new Sportster I haven't tried out yet, so I can't say that. But I'm gonna ride that in Daytona and see what it's all about. I like to stay on top of that. Being vertically challenged is definitely something, but there are modifications that can be made safely that will make it a little easier for you to handle. But my suggestion is to go ahead and rent a few different models. And it doesn't have to be a Harley. I mean, we prefer it to be a Harley because that's the way to go. You know, that's who we are here. But there's nothing like it. There's a romanticism to a Harley Davidson that's unlike any other. But yeah, I would suggest that you rent some different models and try it out and see what fits for you, because as an impulse buy, you might end up with the wrong thing. And it is quite an investment. And it's something that you want to have fun and you want to do it for years to come. So that's my suggestion. When we bring in tonight's guest, who I'm super excited about, we'll ask her about that too, for sure, and see what her input is. So, okay, next segment. We're going to just move on because, you guys know I like to get through this stuff because I like to get to the guests. That's what we do this for, is to hear the stories and get everybody on camera and save it here on the internet for posterity. And some of the stories you might learn something from. You might inspire you to do something that you've never done before. All right, product pick of the week. Okay, so recently we had a situation in our shop where new rider, he bought his first bike. He brought it to the shop. It was new to him, but it's a used bike, okay? And he brought it for service and a massive amount of upgrades to bring it back to safe and shiny. Of course, they want him to be new and not rattle around and everything. And it was like an 07. So we started to tear apart. We ordered all these parts and we started to tear apart this motorcycle. And as we did, it was showing signs of being underwater. We got into the motor. We always check the cam test if we're unsure as to its history, or we go by mileage to check the cam chain tensioners and things like that, things that can go awry quickly. So they're good. We like to do a full inspection. It's 2 bolts and a cam cover. It's not a big deal. And when we got in there, we saw the rest of the signs that proved that it was underwater. Now, unfortunately for him, he didn't have anybody to consult and didn't realize that those things can happen. We live in Florida, especially with the hurricanes. Anywhere on the coast, if there's been a hurricane and things just are too good to be true, sometimes they really are. But what you can do is you can do a free VIN lookup. Now, I've done a few. I see that this bike was underwater. I saw a few things, so I checked a few. And the best one that I could find is the National Insurance Crime Bureau. I know, like I would even say that, right? Like Crime Bureau, bikers, National Insurance Crime Bureau, nothing to do with police or anything like that. Where I come from, growing up in the old days, you just didn't talk like that. So these folks actually had a real history. I checked other free VIN lookups and things of that nature and didn't find the information that I found there. And luckily for him, the guy he bought the bike from actually was a dealer, a small dealer, and they took the bike back once they came and saw all the things that we found, and they went ahead and put him into another motorcycle. It's unfortunate for us because that job we didn't get to do, but we'll have him forever as a customer. He'll bring his bike to service us. It tested our shop integrity and our reputation, which by no means we would never put somebody at risk. And that motor could have seized up at any time. So it's a good thing to do is check the VIN. And then after you check the VIN, if it's free and clear, always take someone with you that has some knowledge that can steer you towards what you need to know about the motorcycle before you purchase it. And that's an important thing. So this week's product pick is the free VIN lookup at www.nicb.org/VINcheck. And it's kind of funny because after all that happened, I opened up the Cycle Source, and in Bandit's column, he was talking about make sure you check your VIN. It's the irony of it all. So I thought I would feature it here too. Okay. Now, next, when we have a guest on the show, we absolutely ask them for pictures and then their favorite organization that they like to support. So this week, our guest picked somebody that I always thought was fantastic. And she showed me a new side to it all. Gary Sinise. Okay, he's an actor. He's been in CSI New York. He's been in movies like The Green Mile, Apollo 13, Mission to Mars, and so much stuff. And you see him there. Well, he has a foundation. It's the Gary Sinise Foundation. And what it does is it serves our nation by honoring our defenders, the veterans, and the first responders, their families, and those in need. They do this by creating and supporting unique programs designed to entertain, educate, inspire, strengthen, and build communities. They've been given 4 stars by Charity Navigator. So when I went on the website, I found so much stuff there. His foundation builds houses for veterans. They participate in all these programs so that the first responders, all the veterans, their families, anyone who needs something can go and find a program that works for them. And I found out too, he's a musician and from Chicago. So that's kind of cool. Very, very, very fond of her sending this to me because I'm going to support it for sure. So it's on the screen. It's www.GarySiniseFoundation.org, and go check it out because it really is cool. And then once you check it out, participate, go ahead and donate, see what you can do. If there's a possibility you can volunteer or help out, do it. Make a difference. It matters, So, all right, this is the cool part. For me, our guest tonight is super special to my heart. So a little backstory. I met Miss Marjorie Kleiman years and years ago, 2005 at Billy's Blood, Sweat, and Gears. So I was just getting ready to leave. Hurricane Wilma was rolling in. We had some stuff going on, and we kind of had a little bond. We talked, and we got to know each other a little better. The National Breast Cancer Foundation has this woman to thank for their charity build of the Chopper Chick crew. I told her about an idea I wanted to do and that I wanted to get a crew of girls together and I needed sponsors to donate the parts because I was going to donate all the labor to put the bike together and get everybody to Daytona and put this bike together live at the Daytona International Speedway. So she worked for a retailer magazine where she wrote, and I opened it up one day. Oh, actually, no, I got a phone call from Custom Chrome, and they said, hey, we want to participate in this build that you're doing for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And then all of a sudden, calls just started coming in, and lo and behold, we built the National Breast Cancer Foundation, a motorcycle, the Pink Ribbon Chopper, the Chopper Chick Crew. And it was an amazing experience, but they have her to thank for that. And they actually sold tickets, raffle tickets, through a company that sold hair extensions. And they raised almost $1 million or a little over $1 million for that motorcycle. So that was fantastic. And I have her to thank for that. All of us have her to thank for that, as well as that. So we're going to go through some pictures because I love to do that first. All right. There's Miss Shadow, and she's with Jody and Marilyn and Missy. Okay. I love these photos. Look at that. And last week's guest, Mailman, and Miss Cheryl. And I believe that is Alan. Yes, that's Alan. That's her partner, Alan. And we'll talk about him a little later in the show. Fun. See, and I'm lucky because all my friends are all about having some fun. Like, she's taking a ride. That's the true meaning of keg party. I believe she's like me. She doesn't drink either, but I would definitely, that's a ride I would not want to take. That's a hell of a sidecar there. That's funny. Okay, and there she is. That was her birthday ride. That's a good treat for your birthday. Look at that bike. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, there you go. And that is I wrote that one down, and I can't remember what it is, but I'll have her tell me all about it. Oh, hi, Marilyn. How are you? Miss Cheryl's watching. Trisha, Patty. I love everybody's here to see our favorite. She is our favorite. Okay. Look at her on her bike. Ooh, mama. Hot mama there. No doubt about it. Look at that scenery, too. By the water, just relaxing. There's nothing sexier as a natural woman just having a natural good time, just relaxing after taking a break for her motorcycle ride. Getting ready to go on some more. Look at her. There she is again. Okay. Now, got a couple more. Look at that. Pictures. Friends, let's go. That is, that's her on. Oh. Damn, I lost it. See, I didn't write that down. I was going to ad-lib all that because, I know her so well. Look at her. See, now she's changing her motor mount. I love this. We traveled over the summer, Chicks on 66, and I can tell you, she is no bullshit. She rides like Miss Cheryl. The two of them kind of tag team across the country. It was awesome to watch, and they did not cheat in any regard. No interstate. When everybody else would cut off or go to the interstate, her and Miss Cheryl were rocking the 66. And listen, there were some roads where I was going to get nauseous just riding up and down all around. They come from up north, though. I'm from Flatland, so. So this evening, I am honored to have my friend and esteemed colleague. That's the Chicks on 66. Those are the sisters. So the women riders now sisters. That's awesome. So it's Miss Shadow on. Okay, I guess that's the left. I don't know. The camera's backwards. So, okay, on the left, Karen, Andrea, Jenny Bass, Cindy Messmer, and then Sharon Panhead. So those girls, and they all rock Route 66 on their vintage motorcycles. Miss Cheryl's not in there, but that's okay. I know she was somewhere close by. She might have been standing there while they were taking the picture. Okay. I'm super excited. So again, she's been bringing the motorcycle community news and photos for decades. She is the epitome of a moto journalist. She's iconic in our world, and to me, I think so. She always has a big spot in my heart. She's amazing, and she always does everything to help everyone else. She brings opportunities and does things. She sends you things out of the blue, and I'm excited to talk to her tonight. She is tonight's spark. So we're gonna bring her in. Yay! I'm excited.
Hey,
Miss Shadow, how are you?
I'm doing well. That was a switchback, by the way, that red bike.
That was the one. Yeah. I was trying to think, and I was just like, tongue-tied. That's okay. I was all excited because I get to see pictures of you. I get to hang out with you on camera. So how have you been?
I've been busy as anything. But you know what? That story that you told about the breast cancer bike, I was editor of American Iron Retailer then. And that was the industry trade magazine that American Iron had. And it was And the whole time I was editor of any magazine, probably about 15 years in total, I was editor of one magazine or another. The thing I loved the most probably was being able to help out people in the industry and other writers, because I got to use my magazines as a bully pulpit, and I forgot that I publicized that for you guys. I
You
forgot
did.
that.
You did, and
Yeah.
all the parts came in. Everybody participated, and it was like you made a dream come true, because that was something that I dreamed of, and my daughter Desiree, it was her idea. So, and then a lot of people don't know, but you've always supported anything we've done. The Today Show build that we did live on the Today Show, Gray. I think Gray was
Official
like
photographer.
you were, and then I think Gray was like 5. Our youngest son, he was like 5,
Yeah.
and he still remembers going and picking raspberries with you, because you
Out
took
of
him
my
out,
yard.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness, and it's just so that's why anytime anything, and I always tell everybody that I was excited last year when we got the pulsating Paula calendar, which by the way I'm gonna have to go ahead and get a new one. You have another one, right? You doing more?
We didn't do them this year.
No.
We're going to be doing something else for next year. I'm not sure what,
Okay.
but we'll be doing something.
Good, because that brought back such wonderful times. You know what I mean? She was
Yeah.
fantastic. Her photography was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I mean, just like, wow. And I don't know, you can't see it. The handlebars are in the way, but it's still hanging up there over Don's toolbox. He commandeered that right away. He's like, yeah, that's mine. I was like, okay. And she's got one. Yeah, that. It is amazing.
For a second.
You're good. Yes.
That was last year's calendar.
Last year's calendar, right?
Yeah.
She was so beautiful too, and so was her photography. Definitely, she brought out an innate sense of people and their motorcycle life. You know what I mean? Miss Jenny Bass says hello. Rob Swelly Belly, Stephen Posa, Tim Galley. Everybody's all here. They're all here and ready.
A lot of the names, yeah.
So, what do you got coming up? Tell me about this is time for shameless plugs. Anything you got?
Shameless plugs. Okay. Well, one of the things is I'm on staff for the cross country chase and the motorcycle cannonball, and I've been doing that since about a year and some, I guess. So I've done 2 chases, and I was kind of behind the scenes during the cannonball. I couldn't go, and I would do PR, media. I'm the one that sends the invitations to all the local media to come show up with their cameras and their mics and all that kind of stuff, their video cameras. I invite AMCA chapters to come meet us, and hog chapters and all kinds of stuff. I do the daily updates and the checkpoints, which means getting up at like dark 30 every morning. Because we got to be out there like an hour before the riders.
Everybody else, right?
Yeah, you got to be out there early. So I mean, I really love it though. I always say sleep when you're dead.
Right.
That's when you can catch up on your sleep. Too much living to do.
So when you say you're busy, you're not bullshitting. That keeps you busy, and then you have a bunch of other stuff you do too. You're right. You did our great part 1 article of the Chicks on 66.
Yeah,
it's excited about the second.
The March issue of Cycle Source, and here's they did a nice opening spread.
That was beautiful shot too.
Yeah,
absolutely. You took that picture.
What I did was I set the whole thing up, and I ran and handed my camera to somebody else. They went click, so I get to take the photo credit.
Love it. So Boots and Ruble say hello. Joe Sparrow says hi, ladies. Ron Alft is here. Hi, Marjorie. I love it. That's so awesome.
Hey.
That is so very cool.
Hey, everybody.
Then no Daytona for you, but then the chase is gonna be this year.
Well, the cannonballs this year. That's in September. Another thing I'm doing. Oh, there. Hi, Abby Smith.
Hi, Abby.
I was just about to say I've been. I'm also kind of on staff with the Donnie Smith Bike Show since last year. For 17, 18, I don't even know how many years. Well, 18? Since 2004, I've been covering that show when I was with Thunder Press. Right. And I always made sure it was on the cover. and all that, because to me that show was so important and so close to my heart. And I didn't think I was going to be able to go last year. And through some really good friends, I got a place to stay. Thank you, Greg Lou. I got a cheap flight. I got a cheap car rental, And Neil's like, well, as long as you're coming, why don't you take pictures for me? And that I offered to do some social media leading up to the show. And so now I've been doing social media like every single day. Well, not through June, July, and August and September, but a couple months after the show. And I'm the one that does the Facebook and Instagram posts. Not all of them, most of them, So I've been doing that, and I'll be at the show again this year, the last weekend in March. What is it? It's March 25th and the 26th in St. Paul. So that's been keeping me real busy. That's a lot of fun because I never throw away a photo. Thank you, Lord, for digital photos, because I have almost 20 years worth of photos from the Donnie Smith show. So I'm dragging up history and I'm posting stuff, and I still have most of my notes. So I post things and I'll get these emails from people like, I can't believe you remembered that show was our anniversary. That was our first wedding anniversary. So I enjoy that too, because it brings people a lot of joy to see, what was going on 15 some years ago at the show. So that's pretty cool. That's a lot.
Yes. That's on my list. I dream to go to that show one day. Definitely. And Donnie Smith is going to be on the show March 13th so that we can promote it. So that's super cool. I love him and Abby so very much. So when you go to the Donnie Smith show this year, you think it'll feel any different?
Than what?
I mean, because you actually are there, working there instead of working for someone else covering
you. I mean, that's how last year was. It was way different. It was way different. It was a lot more enjoyable. I'll tell you that. I didn't feel the same pressures. So so it was a lot of fun. I mean, I always have a good time, but I got to spend more time talking to people this year. I didn't have to, run around. I did a lot of work, but it was different. It was different. It was a lot more laid back. Yeah. So cool. I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm doing it again.
you touch so many lives with your photographs. I mean, I don't think you could even imagine. Just it means something when people see your pictures as a memory or a reminder, but then when they see themselves in your photos, it's even better. You know what I mean? That it's something that you can't ever take away, which is really cool. I'm really, really stoked about that. And so then after Donnie Smith, are you doing Sturgis this year maybe?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I've only ever missed one Sturgis since 2003. And that was in 2019. I think, was it 2019? No, 2020. Okay. I think 2020 I had a miss. There were some family issues going on. And between that and COVID and all that kind of stuff, because people were getting very, very sick that first year.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad year.
Yeah, that was a rough one for sure.
Yeah.
So Chicks on 66. Now you guys, and for those who don't know, Miss Shadow, Karen, a group of women, but this woman here, she made all the press happen. She made all the stuff happen. People were meeting us all across the country. They had seen the posts and the this and the that. And like we had waitresses that were waiting on us in the tables and we're like, oh, we're so glad we've been waiting for you to come here. And it stops all across the country. We're like, oh my God, hi to Jose. I see hi Jose. Jose's like, hey Marjorie, hey Athena. Hello everyone.
Yeah. I know Cheryl and I stopped. I can't ever remember where it was. Some back road somewhere on Route 66, and we stopped to take a picture. It was the Cotton Ball Motel sign. I don't think the motel was there anymore. And this woman, it was about 197 degrees out that day.
Oh, yeah.
It was so hot. And this woman comes running out of the bank across the street with 2 ice cold bottles of water. And And we're like, wow, thank you. And she said, yeah, I heard you were coming through. And can you mention our town and all that? And it was really cool. It was really cool. It's like people were waiting for us to come through,
Yeah, everybody, yourself, I mean, you and all the women involved, you guys did a fantastic job with that. That was an incredible ride. And there's future ones scheduled, right?
Yes, Chicks at the Crossroads in 2024. It's so much planning. It, it's it is so much work to put these rides together that we're doing big rides every other year. And after Chicks on 66, a lot of the women didn't want to wait 2 years. So like,
Right.
can we do a reunion? So we're doing like a little reunion ride just for, you got to be a member of the Riveter chapter and all that, because Chicks on 66 is the, one of the events of the Riveter chapter of the AMCA. And so we're going to be in Kentucky for a few days this year. So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
That should be fun. Kentucky, the bluegrass state. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is very, very cool.
Yeah. And that's not an AMCA event. It's just a little get together. It's not, no pre-set up reservations or anything like that. It's just a bunch of us getting together. So I don't even know how many people will be there because we're not coordinating it.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, let me know the dates, because if it fits in my schedule, I'd definitely ride up for that.
All right.
I would love to see everybody. That would be so cool. That was an amazing trip.
And then for 2024, Chicks at the Crossroads. Okay, because we decided to keep the Chicks name. That became kind of our brand, so we can't get rid of that.
Right.
That's got to be in all the titles now. And that's going to be more down south instead of out west. And I'm not going to divulge too many details because we have not officially announced it yet. We got to get all our ducks lined up in a row, and some pieces have to fall in place. So I think within the next few weeks we'll be announcing that. And as we get more information, we'll be adding that on and informing everybody. So we're pretty excited about that. It's going to be killer.
Send the info, because we'll promote it here too, so that everybody that wants to participate.
It's going to be another themed ride, but I'm not going to say what the theme is yet.
Okay.
So
I know Miss Gypsy's going to be out. Miss Gypsy's going to be out of the country. They're going to Europe, but I have it on my calendar, so I'm ready for that one. So, and if she's in the States, well, I'm going to grab her and say, "Come on, compadre, let's ride," because like Miss Cheryl was with you, Miss Gypsy was with me, so that's cool. It was cool to see everybody team up like that. It was neat. It was super cool. It was an incredible adventure. It was an adventure, and it was incredible.
Yeah, and I hope my riding partner and roomie Cheryl can go again.
Me too. She's amazing. I tell you what, I'm so glad. I'm glad that I got to meet her through you and through the ride, and then I got to spend time with her at the smokeout, her and Mailman, and just again, people that you always want to have in your life forever. Incredible, incredible, wonderful people. So I love them.
That's awesome. Photo of Cheryl and Kevin and Alan and me, that was at the smokeout. That was I think it was 2019. It was 2019 smokeout. Yeah.
Very cool. Terry Collier says big tease. I love it. That's funny. We're teasing everybody with it. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Completely intentional. I did it on purpose.
You're so good at that too. You definitely know how to keep everybody waiting and wanting. So I'll go with that.
Well, we're just not quite ready. We want certain pieces in place. So committees are working hard at the lodging and some of the events and the start and the finish and everything in between. So it's going to be super cool. It's going to be really cool.
I'm excited about that. I am super excited about that.
Another epic ride.
Another epic ride. Yay. Yeah. That is fantastic. I'm ready for it. Okay. So are you ready for some questions?
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to start with just for fun questions. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Most definitely. Yeah.
Okay. And 4-legged, not 2-legged, or both?
Just 4-legged.
Or
3 if they have misfortune,
Disabilities, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. We don't discriminate. That's good. I'm good with that.
No.
Apples or oranges?
Apples. Apples for sure. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there a reason that it's apples?
They just taste better. I don't know.
I love that. That's awesome. I had somebody tell me once apples because oranges are too sticky when you're riding. I was like, okay, that's a perspective.
Okay.
Hotel or camping?
I put camping when you asked me that because I love camping, especially on the bike. That said, if I'm on my way, I used to camp on the way to Sturgis and back, and not really to save money as much as because I love it so much.
Right.
You know, I just love it.
Because you
But
ride
the
everywhere.
problem, what started happening over the years is that I had to carry more and more camera equipment and computer equipment around. You know, I mean, the first couple of years I went to Sturgis, I had like this little point and shoot thing, and I didn't take a laptop. I don't even know if I had a laptop then. You know, I mean, I didn't need all that stuff. And as the years went on, you know, like I usually carry 2 bags, and one of them was full of camera and computer equipment. So to pile the tent and the sleeping bag and the match and all that, it just became too hard to do. So when I go camping on my motorcycle, that's where I'm going. I'm not going on like a 3-week trip and dragging all that shit with me. So
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah. And I've seen you with all those bags. I've seen you loaded for bear, for definitely sure. That.
Oh God, yes.
You're always working. Dana Grumble says hello and she wants details. We all want details, Miss Dana. So we'll get to them.
There will be details.
When they put them out, I promise you, we will definitely disclose them as soon as we hear them here on the show as well.
Yep.
So, okay. Slow, fast, or faster?
It depends. Like sometimes I like slow and I'm just putting around and it's a beautiful day and I'm not in a hurry and I want to stop because there's a cute little shop there, or I want to grab something to eat, or oh, there's some water. I just want to chill out and I think I'll take a nap. You know, it's like I mean, I really, you know, I'm trying to do more of that kind of riding. When I was working for some of the magazines, I had to get places. I couldn't like take a week to get to wherever I was going. I could do that now, you know, I can do that. So it can be a little more relaxing for me. I also like going fast. Sometimes I just want to, you know, put the pedal to the pedal, you know. Like on the way to Sturgis, I've had to get there in 3 days, and it's 1,800 miles, 600 miles a day. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. It's 12 hours if you don't run into any traffic, weather, or construction, or, you know, if you don't get lost. And I would just rather not do that. But then again, you can get into the groove and you just like, you know?
I love it.
I don't go over 100 miles an hour anymore. It's just like, I overthink too much. I can't do it anymore.
And it's expensive if you get caught.
Yes. You know, a high-speed traffic ticket can pretty much turn your life upside down for a while. Your insurance goes up. I mean, all kinds of bad stuff happens.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's called adulting. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I know. What a word. That's it.
Yeah.
So then the next question is sunshine or moonshine?
Sunshine, so I could ride. As the years go on, it's harder and harder for me to see at night. I still ride at night, but I'd rather ride in the day. And then there's lots of animals at night around here too, you know, and that's, by the time you see them, sometimes it's too late. So yeah, daytime is motorcycle time.
I love it. So then what is your favorite song?
My current favorite is Fuck Me Up by Pokey Lafarge.
So I love that song.
Check it out and make sure you check out the video. It's really cool. This guy is, I don't know how to describe him. It's kind of like old timey music, but it's funky. And, you know, I just like weird offbeat stuff. I do, you know.
Well, that's the way to do it. You know, can't like everything everyone likes. Got to go with your own flow there.
No, my last favorite was probably Fighting Trousers by Professor Elemental, who's a Brit that does chap hop.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that one up for sure.
Yeah, find the video for Fighting Trousers. You're gonna love it or hate it. I can't tell you what. It's like I saw him for the first time at a steampunk convention some years ago.
Neato.
I'm into steampunk too. Yeah.
Check you out. I
Oh, I
love
got
it.
the costumes. I got everything. I got the hats, you know.
Ah, that is too cool. Miss Shorty's just commented. You remember Shorty?
Yeah.
She says, "Hey, ladies," and then Woody from Wildwood says he personally hates growing up. So I get it. I totally get that. All right.
Yeah.
So then, what's your favorite road food?
Peanut butter and cheese crackers.
Ooh, that's a good
But this
one.
is like I feel like when I'm on the road and I'm really booking, I feel like I just have to feed the machine. I don't eat for enjoyment or
Right.
for, a lot of times I don't take my time. It's like I got to eat something. I need nutrition. It can't be heavy. It can't make me sleepy. Like no big turkey dinners at lunchtime. Can't do that.
Yeah.
I'll be sleeping on the bike. I'll be like by 3 in the afternoon.
Oh my
So peanut butter
goodness.
and cheese crackers. It's got a little bit of protein, some carbs, not too much fat. It's like not a tremendous amount of sodium. I watch my nutrition, so it's like the perfect road food to me. I love chocolate, but it melts in your
It
bag.
does. I love you.
I've made some real messes in my saddlebag.
Me too. I love you. That's awesome. It's like,
Like
oh yeah,
M&Ms melt. I don't care what they say.
that's right. They do. In the saddlebag, not in your
Yeah,
hand, but in the
yeah,
saddlebag. That is too
yeah.
funny. So then, if you were a cocktail, what would you be?
What did I say? I think I said like a raspberry mojito mocktail because I don't drink
Ooh,
alcohol.
right.
I,
You're
I
like
haven't
me.
I haven't drank in pretty close to 36 years. No
Okay.
drugs, no alcohol, and all those. Oh, I would have been dead years ago if I kept doing what I was doing. So
You
yeah.
have quite a history. I know we've sat down and talked about stuff, and I know everybody has their journey, but you definitely have
Yeah,
a
I'm pretty blessed to be alive because a lot of people I know are not. Did not make it. So
right. How long have
yeah.
you been riding?
I've been riding 23 and a half years. I started late in life. I did.
How did you get into motorcycles?
It's weird because I didn't know anybody that rode. Nobody in my family rode. I didn't have friends that rode. Well, okay, I had a boyfriend that did when I was
Okay.
like in my teens and 20s, but I the only time I loved it, the only time I got to ride was on the back, and I started having dreams about that my old boyfriend had left me a motorcycle. I mean, he
Ooh.
died so many years ago, and he'd left me a motorcycle, and it was in the shed in the back of my mother's house, where all good dreams happen in my mother's house. Um, yeah, and
Okay.
I'm like riding the motorcycle in my dream, and I'm like so happy, and I feel so. Um, I'm not going to use that term freedom or anything. I just felt like I was flying. It felt like flying to me because I used to dream about flying all the time too. And then I wake up and be like happy and then bummed out. It's like I don't have a motorcycle. I don't even know how to ride. you know and at one time I met this old lover years and years ago. I went back to Pennsylvania, where I'm from, and we went for a midnight ride around Harvey's Lake.
Okay.
On He Had a Road King. We went on a midnight ride around Harvey's Lake, and I couldn't believe the feelings that came over me. He didn't know it. I was sitting there like tears just streaming down my face because I've been living in New York City, and I wasn't I love living in the city, but I wasn't in nature, and I wasn't really doing like outside stuff a lot, you know.
Okay.
But I came back and I decided I was going to learn how to ride a motorcycle. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I realized that women could ride. I never saw a woman ride before, you know. So I took lessons, and I took the
Of course.
MRF course and all that. And I was terrible. I was 46 years old when I got my license. It was really, really, really hard for me. I'm like, what did I get myself into? And we were talking about which first bike to buy. I bought a Sportster, a Hugger. I liked the Hugger because it was low.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 2000. I bought it in 1999, and passing the test only gave me the right to ride. It didn't really teach me how to ride. So I went to my dealership and I'm like, hey, do you know where I can get lessons or somebody could help me ride? They're like, oh yeah, this guy Clyde, he's a friend of the shop and he'll give you lessons. So he had these old beater bikes. They were like 150, 250 cc's, kind of like the ones that you take, riding the course. Right. And I learned how to ride a motorcycle in Branch Brook Park in Newark, New Jersey. I learned how to ride in Newark, New Jersey, that's not that different than the city.
I was going to say, that's like New York City, right?
Yeah. So, and I dropped that bike. I can't, Clyde would turn around, the bike would be on the ground. He'd be like, how did you do that? I'm like, so, it's like you go get a mirror in a junkyard for $5. You didn't really hurt anything, So if I did it again, because I crashed my Sportster on the way home from the dealership.
All right.
I thought it would be a good idea for me to practice figure eights. So I stopped and I was practicing figure eights, and that 883 had so much power compared to that 150, 250, whatever. I jumped the curb and went down, and that's when I learned that HT meant $100.
Yes.
New handlebars, new mirrors.
Oh, shit.
I didn't even make it home from the dealership. So I eventually learned how to ride better. I practiced a lot, but it did not come naturally to me. I mean, I envy the people that are natural riders. I just wasn't one of them. I wish that I started when I was a kid. I wish I rode dirt bikes. I wish I did all that stuff, because I would have been so much more comfortable. It would have been so much easier for me. But, I never gave up. Not for a minute did I ever think I was going to give up. I would be so scared to death, and I would do it anyway, just
outside of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Patty Bostic says your story gives a new meaning to stop, drop, and roll. Oh, Chris Summerson says, hey,
I think I just went splat.
Trisha from Women Riders Now, she says it happens far too often. Sportsters are powerful. I love that. I love all the input. That is so awesome. That is fantastic. So then, what really sparked your passion for motorcycles? Like, was there a moment in time that you just said?
I just that ride around Harvey's Lake. I mean, I always bought bikes when I was in my late teens. I used to ride with my boyfriend then, but I always rode on the back.
So Harvey's Lake, when you say you rode around Harvey's Lake, there had to be a spot. What's your favorite spot around that lake? Or what was it that you were that brought you to tears? Was there a specific spot that?
Not really. It was at midnight. You could hardly see anything anyway. It was just the ride, and like I forgot how being on a bike, like the like drastic temperature changes and the smells and the wind and all that kind of stuff. Because I hadn't been on a bike in a long time before then. It's like I can't just depend on other people.
Right. You have to do it yourself. And it's funny that you said that about flying, because Baron, my grandson, just went for his first ride 2 weeks ago, and he said, Mimi, it's like flying without wings. And I was like, oh, how cool. Like, that's a great description.
Yeah, for sure.
Out of the mouths of babes, right?
Yeah.
That's how that is. Okay, so tell me, how did you get into photography and motorcycle media?
Well, I joined a motorcycle club in 2000, and I am now the longest standing member of that club. The club started in 1999. All the charter members are gone. I came in like right after all the charter members, and we wanted to be an attribute to the community. So we kind of adopted the Ironbound Little League, because our clubhouse is in the Ironbound section of Newark. And we did our first charity ride. And I don't remember why they asked me, but the board, the officers asked me, could I get some newspaper coverage? And the big newspaper is the Newark, the Times Ledger out of Newark. Okay. And I called them up, and they were like, You know, they weren't the least bit interested. By the way, they did cover us later on after they got to know us, you know, and saw that we were good and we weren't like bad bikers. We were good bikers. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I called around the different motorcycle magazines, you know, because I had subscriptions to some. There were some local, there were some national. I had no idea how this shit worked. And I'd call them up and I'd say, could you please send a reporter and a photographer? And they're like, we don't do that. You know, I didn't know about freelancers or whatever. And, you know, some magazines are like, no, we don't do that kind of thing. And others are like, well, we don't have anybody in your area. And I called Thunder Press, and the editor then, her name was Kim, and she said, well, we don't have anybody else right around there, I don't think, but why don't you go ahead and why don't you write it up and take photographs and submit it? And so I did, you know, and it ran on the cover. It wasn't cover one, cover two, but I'm like, holy shit, look at this. They must be desperate.
You're so bad.
And so Kim's like, good job. When are you going to do the next one? I'm like, oh, okay. So I started doing articles, you know, and eventually like the editor in chief took notice and he asked me, did I want to be a columnist? Did I want to be a bureau chief, which is bureau chief kind of, I would like assign things. I wouldn't do editing. Anyway, I just kind of, you know, did more and more and more. And I eventually became editor, and then I eventually became editor in chief. But along the way, I worked with American Iron magazine, American Iron Retailer. There was a couple local magazines I work with that are, I don't even know if they're still around, you know, one or two other national magazines. So I don't know, I've been doing it like 20 some years, a little over 20 years now. So yeah.
And you do it so well too. You definitely do. There's no
Thank
doubt
you.
about that, for
Thanks.
sure.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Well, that's the whole reason that we do motorcycles, right? Is because it's fun.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is that a lot of these things I'd be doing anyway. You know, I'd be going there anyway. So,
right.
and I started out freelancing, and now I'm freelancing again. And I have some contract work and some freelance work, and I really like it a lot. I don't ever want to work full time for anybody again. I don't. Okay. Yeah, I have two companies, and I work for me, and I have clients. That's basically how it goes, you know. And it's you know, my time is my own. I mean, I have deadlines, I have commitments and all that, but you know, there's nobody to say you can't expense $45 for lunch. Yes, I can. It's my company.
I love it. Right. Damn it. I'm not eating McDonald's hamburgers. I'm having freaking Ponderosa. I'm with you on that. So tell us what your favorite rides are, your favorite motorcycle, and then your favorite route to ride.
My favorite motorcycle. I think my favorite motorcycle is my favorite motorcycle that I own is still my 2000 FXD. I got that in 2003. It had 3,000 miles on, and it has, I think it probably has about 130 or 140,000 on it now. And then all the other miles are spread among my Road King and my Shovel and my old Switchback and my old Sportster. And then I did a lot of motorcycle reviews. So there's like thousands of miles on other people, you know, companies, Harley Davidson and Indian and Victory motorcycles. So yeah, my 2000 FXD, that's Elvira, the Black Beauty. And yeah, and she's, I always called her Black Beauty. And Felisa Morgan, for the 2016 Carnival, Felisa stayed at my house, and I insisted that she take one of my bikes, and I was going to show her parts of New Jersey so she didn't have a bad idea about New Jersey. We rode all through the Northwest and down along Delaware Water Gap and these old ghost towns and stuff like that. And that's when she added Elvira onto Black Beauty. So she became Elvira the Black Beauty. But that bike has gone everywhere, like a million trips to Sturgis and Daytona, and I think I rode it. Well, we were going to Nova Scotia to the Wharf Rat Rally, but I got a vertigo attack in St. John, and I ended up staying at the hotel for a week there fighting vertigo. Those guys went and did the rally. They came back. They picked me up on the ride home, and we rode home. I felt like
That's
shit
where
then.
Miss Shorty was saying that you rode to Boston with Beaner.
That's
And
right.
Mailman
That
says
was
that was on
Wiener's
that trip.
thing, and Shorty hosted a lobster bake for us.
Oh, nice.
Oh yes,
I
that
love
was
her.
pretty awesome. Yeah,
She's
yeah, I remember
awesome.
that. That was a fun time. Yeah,
We're gonna get her on the show one of these days. I'll talk her into it. That's
yeah,
too funny.
yeah.
She's like, "Oh my god, I remember now." Now she remembers. I love it. Some things are hard to forget. Some things are hard to remember. I know how that is. So,
yeah,
what
and
is your
my
favorite?
the favorite roads. One of my favorite roads is the Natchez Trace Parkway, and I rode that from Natchez, Louisiana, up to Nashville, and I think it's like, is it 444 miles? I forget, but it's not like the Blue Ridge Parkway in that it's not so jam packed with traffic that you can't enjoy it, and it's also, I mean, you're not going to speed along there. I think the speed limit might go up to 50 or 55 in places, but it's just so beautiful and so relaxed. You can jump off and come back on. People are like, "Oh, you're going to be bored." I wasn't bored for a second, you know. So I just loved that ride. I did. And one of my favorite rides was in the Sandhills in Nebraska. There used to be this rally for a couple of years called, at one year I think they called it the Hog Stop Rally. It was in Valentine, Nebraska. I forget, somewhere in Nebraska on this big old ranch. It was neat. And then another time it was in a campground. But one of the things about Nebraska is they have, you ever hear of star parties? There are certain parts of the country where there's no ambient light, and there's stargazing, and they do it all night long. And the Sandhills of Nebraska is one of those places. And so we went up there. We went for a ride to where they were having a star party, but it was the daytime, so everybody was asleep. So we were just like creeping around, looking at all their like 6-foot-long telescopes. You know, it was pretty cool. But that ride that day, it's not that the roads were that spectacular. They were beautiful. The Sandhills are very beautiful and are very foreign to me. We don't have anything like that here.
Right.
But it was one of those things where the air just felt like your skin. You know, it's like you were just gliding through. There's no resistance, and the temperature was perfect. You know, that's only happened a few times in all the these years I've been riding, and that's how it was all day. It's like you just felt like you were one with everything. Like everything was part of everything else. I don't know how else to describe it, but I know some of you know what I mean. Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. But
makes me want to take a ride through Nebraska now that you say that. I definitely, like, you wouldn't think much of Nebraska. I mean, we've driven through there and going to Sturgis and stuff or around it and whatever. And corn, that's what you think of, corn. But now that you describe it that way, I want to ride through there.
Well, this was nowhere near an interstate either. So
right, you're always the back road girl. You like to take the back roads everywhere you go.
Except if I'm in a hurry, then I'm like, just jamming down the 650 miles and do what you got to do.
Got to get there.
Yeah, except not on the shovel. The shovel doesn't like that many miles.
They don't like to go that fast. They were made for 55-mile-an-hour speed limit,
I do like, I think she's comfortable doing like 60, she's good. She's a 5-speed, so she's good.
Right.
Yeah, she's good at like 60. I could do 65, but I learned what happens when I flog her like I do my other bikes, and you don't.
You break shit, right? You break shit.
Yeah, break shit.
This one here. Oh, she's on that side.
I caught her on fire.
Oh shit! Oh man, that is crazy. Like, but those are those episodes where you're just like, is this really freaking happening to me? It's a shovel head. That's what they say. It's a shovel head. What do you expect? They shouldn't down them though, because there's no feeling like a shovel head. I don't care who says what. It's got its own. They have their own unique personality. for sure.
Yeah. Well, this shirt I'm wearing, I got it when
I love it.
Karen and I rode to the Shovelhead reunion.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah, in Milwaukee.
yeah, that was when my bike caught on fire.
Oh,
I was
that's
only
right.
a day late. I got a whole new alternator and regulator after that.
You wrote about that. I read that. That was a phenomenal read. That was like you were. I was there with you. I was like, holy shit! Oh my god! Holy shit! And you're like, go ahead. I'll get this taken care of. I'll see you there.
Yeah, I was only a day late. It rained anyway, so who cares?
I love it. So, what is your favorite event?
I would have to say Sturgis because the ride out there and back, along the way, I've met people that have stayed lifelong friends, and I'll stay there. And sadly, somebody sold something else. Those places aren't necessarily there anymore. But it's just like, it's kind of like coming home, but it's a different home, I have homes all over. And the rally's cool because I get to see people. It's like a reunion. It's like a big family reunion. There are people that I only see once a year, and I see them there, I see them there. So I don't know, like a lot of people are like, well, you should really ship your bike out or trailer or something and spend your time there. It's like, no, that takes away for me, that takes away so much. I want to do the ride, and I go a different way every year, and I come home a different way every year. I used to come home through Canada, which is really nice,
Yeah.
Coming home through Canada. Yeah. I didn't do that the last couple of years. It was hard to get in and out of the country,
Yeah.
with COVID,
Definitely.
but yeah.
Yeah, you make it your own adventure every
Yeah.
time. It's a new adventure. You're on a new, the next one. What does this one bring? That's the coolest approach to take. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what's the most fun you've ever had on a motorcycle?
The most fun I ever had. I don't even remember what I wrote.
You answered the questions. You sent me answers. I forgot to say, you don't have to answer these now. It's just for reference, but you did. You answered them. I thought that was so awesome. Very, very media direct about it. That was cool. I was like, yep, that's what she does.
Oh, I just assumed you wanted the answers.
Well, I was going to get them one way or another. I just didn't even write them down.
Okay, so the best time I had on a motorcycle, shit, I don't know. How do you pick one? I don't know. I can tell you the worst time. I'll tell you the worst time because that's the
next question. So go ahead.
The worst time was I had only been riding about like 9 months, and I was leaving my house and I was going to my cousin's high school graduation in upstate New York. And I had just gone around the corner from my house, and this lady did like a California stop, one of these rolling stops. She slowed down. And so she had the stop sign and I didn't. I had the right of way. So she slowed down and I'm like this. And then all of a sudden she speeds up and I whacked her rear quarter panel, big old boat of a car, and I broke like little bones in my hands. I had little bone chips because my hands didn't go like this. They stayed like this,
Right.
And I hit the car with my hands, and then I had bruises and I hit my gas tank with my upper left thigh, and that collapsed some muscle that is still collapsed. There's like a little dent. So that was unhappy. After I got the bike taken away, I got in my car and I drove up, and the party was almost over, but I still made it. They're like, you should go to the hospital. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. No.
I'm not missing the damn party.
Oh, look at my bike.
Oh my goodness.
I'm okay, but my bike is, it actually wasn't that bad, so and our insurance paid for it. But that was probably the worst time, I guess. I don't know.
And you did say the most fun you ever had on a motorcycle was Chicks on 66.
Oh, I did say that, didn't I?
Say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt about that because you were you were smiling. Big cheese and grin. Big cheese and grin.
That was a trip of a lifetime. I never thought that I would ever do anything like that. It didn't seem within the range of possibilities in my life. It just didn't. Right. And then it happened.
Yeah.
Because Karen had this amazing idea.
Amazing idea, right? Exactly. And the way it starts is just the idea, she really wanted to make that happen for herself, and then she got with you, and you got a group together, and you made it a reality for so many, and it was incredible. Again, it was like you said, it was a trip of a lifetime, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm thankful to all of you for letting us participate in that. That was an amazing, amazing trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell everybody it was definitely an adventure, and then I tell them too. They say, "Oh well, a bunch of women, it's got to be hard to do." I'm like, women were so much easier than 40 men. Are you kidding me? I've seen 40 men on a road trip, and it definitely was nothing like that at all. It was actually really good.
No, nobody got knocked out.
No, everybody had a good time.
No.
Yeah, and really, honest to God, everybody had each other's back. When somebody needed something, everybody, one was there to say, "Hey, can I help? Can I do?"
Yeah.
The camaraderie and the spirit was it was amazing. It was.
Well, the Riveter chapter, I'll talk about that for a minute. The Riveter chapter of the AMCA, it's the first woman-focused chapter, and it's not just women that join. We have men supporters too. Our rides might be women only, but part of our mission is to get women involved in antique motorcycling, and take it a step further, just get women interested in riding, and in fixing their own bikes, and in being more self-sufficient. It's just a great feeling not having to depend on other people all the time.
Yeah,
it's just really great.
It was amazing, and all that we did with the webinars and stuff like that, and every woman on that trip took everything that we put in front of them to heart. They absolutely did, and they were ready, and they learned. And I cried when we went into Clay's shop in New Mexico, and everybody was working on their bikes. I had to go around the corner and cry. It was such a proud moment to see that.
Well, that was how I set it up. I had prearranged with Clay. I said, these women are going to be working on their bikes, and can you help them? And he said, absolutely. And he was perfect. He wasn't condescending. He wasn't overbearing. He didn't make anybody feel small. He was just there if he needed help. Like, the guy is so great. He's so mellow and everything.
He's amazing. I absolutely love Clay.
Yeah, but it worked out. I mean, I envisioned something like that, but it worked out so much better than I even thought it might. It really did.
It was great, and he was so grateful. He was just he was the cat's meow that day, and we were the cat's meow for him. He was just so cool. And the dog, Axel, that dog was crazy cool. He was really cool. His counterpart, I really thought that was neat.
Yeah, that dog does not like tweakers.
No,
there's like with all cities, they have some meth problems and all that. And that dog, he see a tweaker walk by, and he was not happy. Not a happy dog.
That is crazy. Miss Jenny Bass says the whole trip was magical. That is a good word for that, magical.
Yes, it really was. And I want to do it again. But now I want to do it like, I want to go back to the places that we missed because we couldn't see everything, and there are some places that now I don't need to see again, but I want to do it again and again. I mean, Route 66 grabs you like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in one of these Facebook groups where they talk about stuff, and there are people that do it every single year. I mean, that's like their life's mission. I'm not going that far, but just the draw, the Americana, the history, what's lost, what's still there.
Right.
It's important history. It really is. Our country's not that old compared to every other country. But
we stopped at one place that was a nice restaurant. It was in, I can't even remember where we were, but I was taken back at the aesthetics of the whole place, and spoke to the lady who owned it. And it used to be a brothel in the 1700s. It was there. And it was a brothel, and I was like, "This is cool. We're eating in a whorehouse. How neat is that?"
Yeah.
Oh, it was too funny. So, who is your childhood hero?
I don't even remember having one. I was so inside my head. It was weird growing. Yeah, I had like a weird childhood. I don't remember any heroes. I couldn't see any possibilities for myself. It's not like I want to be like that person. I don't remember anything like that. But I could tell you who my heroes are now.
And who's your motorcycle?
every woman motorcycle racer.
I love you.
I
absolutely
envy
love you.
that so much because I wish that like I said, I wish I started riding when I was younger. I would have loved to have done some racing. I briefly thought about it, like when I first started riding, but I knew I wasn't good enough. And then, and I'm not, I watch these women and they're so inspiring to me. And I don't know if it's still as bad as it used to be that, guys would really, guys would really try and fuck women up. They didn't want them racing. So I don't know that it's like that anymore, but still, I feel like women have to work 3 times as hard as men do to be acknowledged for anything they achieve.
Yeah, they have to earn the respect, but it's more difficult.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then racing, I mean, I don't care what gender you are, it takes a set of brass kahunas to do that. Like, there's safety involved, there's speed involved, there's, some, like the Sons of Speed, they race with no front brake in a big concrete circle, and they're antique bikes. And then you got, like, Jenny Bass, she ice races, she Sons of Speed races. You have Angel Sampay, I know that was somebody you wrote down. She drag races. It's crazy. That's
Patricia Fernandez, who can't even put both feet down on her bike and still manages to, kick butt. One of my racing inspirations is like watching on this car. That's Jenny Bass.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I am with you on that. I'm looking forward. She's gonna be in Daytona, so I'll see her at the Sons of Speed race. That's exciting. She is awesome, and she just rode that knucklehead. Showed up that day at the museum. Said, "Okay, I'm going." And she kick-started and rode that motorcycle, 70 some odd years old, all the way across the country.
No freaking windshield. I don't know how. Nothing. I'm spoiled, man. I gotta have a windshield.
And she was my hero on that trip, not just because being a rider, but because she did it and she carried her purse with her the whole time, her little bag. See, when I ride around, I usually do that. And of course, we had all our shit with us, but it was crazy because I was like, look she's got her little bag. She got all her stuff in there. Doesn't matter where she goes. She's got her money, her credit card, whatever it is she needs. She's got it all in that little bag as she's kickstarting, got that leg all the way up in the air and jumping on that Kickstarter. Love that woman. That is amazing. So tell me, what are your 2 most cherished motorcycle memories?
I'm sorry, my what? My 2
most cherished motorcycle memories.
I think one moment is definitely when I met Alan. And when people ask how we met, I'm like, well, I was hitching a ride to Daytona and he picked me up, which is kind of true. A mutual, I had shipped my bike to Daytona. I didn't have a way to get there. This was in 2019. It was 4 years ago. And a mutual friend's like, I know somebody that's hauling, a trailer full of bikes down there, and there's room for you in the truck. And I'm like, okay. And it was Alan driving the truck from the shop where, he's like lead tech there, Creative Performance in Wall, New Jersey. And so we met, we hit it off. I'm skipping over the details. And by the time we came back, we were like together, so yeah.
That is awesome. That is cool. That's a good story. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, one more. Give me one more.
One more. What did I say? What did I write? Come on, help me cheat.
I didn't print the paper. I was so taken back by the fact that you answered the questions. I was just like, look at that. That's awesome. She'll print it out. She's got it. She's going to click it up on her screen. I know you got it there.
I am. I'm going to hold on. Let's see. What is the other one? Oh, yes. And this is like a whole period of time. Okay.
I like that.
During the years I worked with Thunder Press, we 3 editors, it was Terry Rorta, Robert Fila, and me. We were the 3 editors for Thunder Press, and we did all the rallies, we did all that stuff, and we rode together, and we did bike features together, and we hung out together, and went to the industry parties together, and hung out. We had this great house in Daytona, which was like two doors in from Main Street, right by what was that bar on the corner there? Anyway, one of the bars on the corner. But just hanging out on the porch and just spending time with those guys, it was, I don't know, I guess I thought it would last forever, but nothing ever does. Nothing ever does,
No, those are two
Yeah.
great guys to have good memories like that with, though,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so if you could go back and tell your 25-year-old self something, what would that be?
It would be, don't do so many drugs, and maybe you won't have as many medical and financial issues.
There you go.
And the other thing is, realize your self-worth. Don't give away your power to anybody who tries to claim it, So
those are wise words there. Definitely.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, you got to think about that. That is definitely it. Okay, so if money didn't matter and you could go on a road trip on your motorcycle anywhere, where would that be and with who?
All around the country with Alan. All around the country, Canada, all North America. And I really loved riding in Central America. I rode in Costa Rica years ago. That was really cool. So I just want to stay on this continent,
Have you ridden to Niagara Falls?
I've ridden to Buffalo, but I haven't ever actually visited the falls. I've gone over the borders, the different border crossings up there, but no, I haven't done the Niagara Falls tourist thing. So I guess I should do that, huh?
Maybe 2026, maybe the chicks will decide to go see the falls or something like that.
You never know. You never know what the chicks are going to do.
That has to be an awesome sight to ride up. Could you imagine the pictures of all the motorcycles and then somewhere see the falls behind it? That would be all day long to take those photos for sure. You and Miss Trisha would be like, Felicia, we'd all have to go ride together. That would be super cool. That is awesome. Okay, so can you tell us something good about yourself that others may not know?
I've gotten pretty good shooting a pistol lately.
Cool.
I've gotten pretty good at that. Yeah. Because we just got shall carry in New Jersey.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And so people that could not get concealed carry can now do it, but you have to qualify. And so I practiced my little butt off. I've been practicing for months and months and months. And when I qualified, I got 50 out of 50 on the target. So that was pretty cool. And so now I joined the Glock Sports Shooting Foundation, and I signed up for a series of 3 matches and all that. So I'm like really getting into this. It's not yet as expensive as motorcycles, but it's getting there.
Okay. Hey, at least not for anything, you're confident that you can take care of yourself. You don't have to depend on anyone else.
Yeah.
So that's something that's very good for your internal, emotional, and personal
Absolutely.
well-being, mental well-being, to know that you can count on yourself. You don't have to look around and go. But again, you got a hot guy, so I'm sure he's got a nice pistol too, and you guys could shoot it up in any saloon, I'm sure.
No comment.
No comment. I love it.
I'm only talking about me.
I love it. I can't wait to meet him sometime soon. That is exciting. So, would you give us your 5 good things?
5 good things. Now that's something I didn't do. That's something I forgot about. Okay.
Okay.
So give me a hint. What kind of 5 good things? Like 5 good things in my life, or what?
5 good things that in your life that you're glad to have, grateful for, however you want to do it.
I keep myself pretty healthy, so I still have my health. That's important. Mm-hmm. I have family and friends that love me and support me. I have Alan, so that's awesome. He's probably not even watching. I bet he forgot.
It's okay. You can always watch it tomorrow. It's up there for now. Yeah, it's up there for posterity.
No, maybe he's watching. I don't know. But other 2 things. I get to live my passions. I've set up my life to where, nobody enjoys 100% of their life. There's always like shit you got to do that you don't want to do,
Right.
But I pretty much am living the life that I want, and I worked hard my whole life to get here. There were years where I just hated everything, but here
I
I am.
do.
Yeah,
I
here I
do.
am.
One more.
And one more. Oh God, there's got to be like a million. There's got to be a million, but I can't think of a fifth one.
It's probably parked in your garage.
Grateful for my motorcycles. Yeah, did I have to say that out
Sure.
loud?
No, I was just trying to give you something else to say.
Given. Okay, I'm grateful for my motorcycles, and even though I'm thinking of trading one in, and when she found out, she her air suspension broke, and then her valve stem started leaking, and because like she overheard me.
Right. She's like, oh no. Oh
That
no.
happened. That happened with my Sportster when she heard that I was getting another bike. I didn't get rid of her, but she didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, they do that, man. They're jealous little bitches.
Oh yeah. People who don't believe they have personality, they have no idea. They really don't. They don't live it like we do for sure. Because yeah,
No.
they're full of piss and vinegar when they want to be.
Yeah.
Also, you'll walk by, you say something, or you're not paying attention, or you haven't ridden in a while. You'll walk through the garage, and all of a sudden the foot peg falls down and smacks you in the knee, and you're just like, "What the hell?" They bite you and say, "Hey, don't forget about me. Take me
Yeah.
out for a spin." Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
They happen.
I guess I'm grateful because I have several motorcycles, and if I'm lucky, at least one of them runs when I want it. So,
Yeah. Miss
yeah.
Jenny Bass says they want to be wives, not girlfriends. That's why they do that. I love her.
Nobody
She's so
likes being left behind.
no, not at all. Well, all I can tell you is I am so honored and so thankful that you joined us tonight on the show. You are one of the most amazing guests we've had, as I knew it would be. And I'm so super excited. Can't wait to get to hang out with you again. So
Well,
I'll miss
thank
you in
you.
Daytona. I will miss you. So will everybody else. But you never know. There might be a video call in there somewhere. We might harass you from Daytona. So
Oh yeah, well, I set my own hours, so it's not like I'm gonna get fired if I get a call at
love
work.
you. I love you. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Well,
So
thank you for the opportunity. This is awesome. Thanks. Thank you
oh,
so
thank you
much.
for being here. It's
It was
absolutely
fun.
my pleasure and my
Mhm.
honor. And keep us updated on anything you got going on. If you have new stuff, just send me the release or whatever, the press release, and I'll, promote whatever I can here, because everybody that watches
Cool.
wants to know what's going on, and you're in on all the good shit. So we definitely want to participate. All right. Well, tell Alan I said thanks for sharing some of his time with you, and I will see you soon. I love you dearly, and I can't thank you enough. I hope you have a
Thank you.
wonderful week.
Thanks, you
Mwah.
too. Bye.
All right. Oh, how lucky am I? See, I am just so blessed. I have so many good friends that will participate here. I have so many wonderful people watching, friends, family, people who are followers that have seen the show. My heart is full for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my 5 good things. Number one, my life, as difficult as it can be, most times, I'm grateful for that. I wouldn't change any of it. Um, Small moments of fun, even though they're far and few between, when I can get them, take them, and have a good time with it. Knowing my family and friends are some of God's greatest gifts to me daily. That's something that I'm very grateful for. My motorcycle and the people I meet through her. She's amazing. That way. Look over there. It's all backwards from here. And then being right here, right now, doing this little show with all of you. It's fantastic. And then my afterthought, going to give you that. So today's afterthought is integrity. We're daily tested in life through the choices that we pick, what's most important to us, and what we'll do to obtain certain goals. Money can make choices difficult. What do you choose when faced with the option to get ahead? Do you choose to get what you want over someone else's well being? It's a real scenario. Do you sacrifice yourself and integrity to get ahead? In the end, what is the reward? Money or integrity? Money buys shit. Integrity is far more valuable currency, at least where I come from. So keep a conscious thought about what you could do to preserve your integrity any chance you get. Help others see what integrity means. It's something that's very important. It's kind of like your word is your bond. Handshake means something. Those things, having integrity. We were faced with that this week in this month in our shop with the scenario I told you about, the new rider. And I'm grateful, although financially it was a hard hit. I'm grateful that I know Don and I both looked at each other and we chose our integrity over anything else. So that matters. So do the best you can. And again, don't forget, smile big with your heart, not for anybody else. Do it for yourself. And remember to be kind to yourself and others because it matters. When you get a chance, if you could participate, you want to send your 5 good things. We love that. And if you have a question, you want a little bit of perspective from a biker chick, throw it out there. Positive stuff works. Some of the crazy shit you guys send. One of these days, I'm going to do a crazy shit show, one episode where I read all your crazy shit that you send. And boy, howdy, will you really like to hear that on camera? Boy, you might think twice about that. It's kind of funny, though. Don gets a kick out of it. So does Thing One. Some nutty ass shit. So don't forget, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more great guests. Thanks to Miss Marjorie Shadow Kleiman for joining us. Thanks to our new sponsor, Techno Research and the Centurion Program. Our new advertiser, Seaside Subs. I'm still playing with that video. We're working on it. We're doing pretty good here. I'm excited. And thank you all for viewing. I'll see you next week, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for another great guest. Loved all. Good night. Chopper on.